So a new bill has been introduced into the Senate which seeks to stop the ATF's attack on pistol braces. So let's talk about this. But real quick before we jump into this video, if you think the ATF needs to be abolished, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Also, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Sonoran Desert Institute. SDI is an accredited online college that helps students learn the skills and techniques they'll need to be successful in the firearms industry. So if you enjoy gun repair, ballistics, and learning about firearms, SDI might be a good option for you. To find out more, you can go over to SDI, visit the link down in the details section, and thank you again SDI for sponsoring this video. I also want to thank another major supporter of this channel, which is USCCA. Through your membership, you get training, education, and self-defense liability protection. So if you carry a firearm, I highly recommend you take a look into USCCA, and I'll put a link to them down in the details section. So like I said in the intro, a bill has been introduced into the Senate, and it seeks to prevent the ATF from attacking pistol braces and firearms attached with braces. The bill we'll be talking about in this video is S-4069, also known as the Pistol Brace Protection Act. This bill was introduced by Senator James Lankford out of Oklahoma. In his press release in relation to this bill, he states, Lankford's bill would gut an upcoming final rule by the ATF by exempting pistol braces from regulation under the National Firearms Act, the NFA. The bill eliminates subjective standards that exist in federal law that have allowed the ATF to reclassify firearms under the NFA and guarantees that law-abiding gun owners will not have to register, destroy, or surrender their pistol braces. Senator Lankford stated in his press release, this is standard behavior for the ATF. ATF consistently finds new ways to manipulate the NFA, so it's difficult and burdensome to be a law-abiding gun owner. Oklahomans know well how the progressive Biden administration is trying to quietly erode Second Amendment rights by making guns, ammunition, and gun-related products like pistol braces almost impossible to find and buy. Congress should not wait for ATF to finalize the pistol brace rule. Law-abiding gun owners are counting on us to proactively protect their rights and their use of pistol braces by passing my bill immediately to make clear to the ATF that we won't stand for this overreach. It should come as no surprise that the most anti-gun administration in American history would distort the rules to suit their gun control agenda. The press release goes on to state pistol braces were originally created to help disabled veterans. In June of 2021, ATF issued a proposed rule that stated most pistol braces, when attached to a pistol, turn the pistol into a short-barreled rifle or an SBR. SBRs are regulated by the NFA and require taxation and registration. This rule has been pending, but the final rule is expected in the next few months. For years, ATF has assured gun owners that pistol braces are not NFA items and not subject to taxation and registration schemes. Given this green light from ATF, millions of Americans have purchased and used pistol braces lawfully. If the rule goes into effect, it would make it so that millions of law-abiding gun owners have to either pay a tax or registration for their pistol brace or surrender it to the ATF. This is a significant shift in policy, and Congress should not allow ATF to get away with confiscating or registering devices that have long been considered exempt from the NFA's regulations. So that is a press release he put out in relation to the introduction of his new bill. The bill itself is fairly short, it's only about 6 pages, but a couple main takeaways actually come out of this bill, and 2 main things that actually are important as far as the language. First, the bill states that the term rifle shall not include any pistol that is equipped with a device that is designed, manufactured, or intended to allow the operation of a pistol with a single hand through the use of a brace that 1 is attachable or provides support to the user's arm, and 2, the user intends to fire with a single hand. Why is that language important? Well, because last year the ATF introduced that proposed rule that was mentioned in the press release, and that proposed rule is attacking pistol braces. In the proposed rule, the ATF seeks to classify even pistols with a brace on them as short-barreled rifles and therefore subject them to NFA restrictions and taxation. The proposed rule created a weird report card system where you would have to add up points on your card based on what features the firearm has. This system essentially led to any firearm with a brace having to be considered to be an SBR. Essentially, any firearm with a brace on it could never pass this point system, so every single firearm with a brace would have to be considered an SBR, be taxed and registered with the ATF. The ATF stated their rationale for this new proposed rule was that the rule is intended to clarify when a rifle is intended to be fired from the shoulder and to set forth factors that ATF considers when evaluating firearms with an attached purported stabilizing brace to determine whether these are rifles under the GCA or NFA, and whether they are firearms subject to the NFA. Essentially, the ATF didn't like the pistol brace workaround, so they decided to go back on prior statements they had made, prior classifications they had made, and try to plug this hole now by completely redefining pistol braces and firearms with pistol braces as actually SBRs. The language in this bill makes it so that pistols with a brace cannot be found SBRs like the ATF plans to do with their proposed rule. The second important section of language in the pistol brace protection bill is the statement that any documented use of a pistol described in such paragraph with two hands or firing from the shoulder shall not establish that a user does not intend to fire such pistol with a single hand. This language in the bill ensures that even if you are seen shouldering a pistol brace, if there's images or documentation of that, that cannot be used as a basis to say that firearm is actually an SBR, not a pistol. The language makes it so that shouldering and firing with two hands does not magically remove your intent for the firearm to actually be a pistol. Now, in theory, this bill sounds great. The issue is that it's being introduced at a time and during a time when it has little to no chance of actually passing and getting signed by President Biden. Really, this bill is an attempt to help in midterm elections for those members of Congress who say that they want to sign on to this and are claiming that they're pro-gun. Another big issue is that we shouldn't need these types of bills to even be introduced. The ATF does not get to arbitrarily make laws or redefine language however they want. It is the job of Congress to make laws, not the ATF. If the left wants to change the language in the NFA and GCA, they need to go through the actual process and try to do that through Congress. However, I want to mention even if they went through that process, that law would still not be constitutional. It would violate the Second Amendment because it restricts a type of arm. And as we know, the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. So a law actually banning a type of arm would just be automatically void or should be automatically void. But right now, Congress, the executive, individuals on the left don't agree with any of that, and they are just arbitrarily making things up as they go, avoiding the actual legitimate process. ATF has gone completely rogue. Biden is letting them go completely rogue, and we're getting these types of rules. We recently saw this play out with the bump stock issue and also the frames and receivers rule that the ATF just released. If you want to learn more about that ATF rule on frames and receivers, you can watch the video that I'm going to link at the end of this one. So in reality, this bill is actually dead on arrival, and we know that it will not actually pass and it won't get signed by Biden. The ATF will still be releasing their final rule on pistol braces sometime this year. They originally said that their pistol brace would come around August, but that could actually get pushed earlier, like we saw the frames and receiver rule get pushed earlier than they originally said. We need something more drastic, like a Supreme Court ruling in one of the bump stock cases to actually stop this type of activity. Something like that will have a larger impact on stopping these actions, and maybe even the Supreme Court's decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association will be some help. I just want to put this on your radar, especially with the recent release of the frames and receivers rule. The pistol brace rule is coming, and this bill, although it's saying it wants to stop that, it's really dead on arrival, and the expectation is that that rule on braces will still get introduced, and it will have to get actually challenged and fought against through litigation that likely FPC, GOA, or maybe other organizations bring against it. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and like support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm or fuel Al Gore's rhythm. It adds fuel to his jet and it signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos and in this type of two-way news. Again, I want to thank everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, who hits the notification bell, who shares these videos. You guys are directly impacting these videos, impacting this channel, and helping me to reach and educate more people than I could ever do on my own. So thank you so much for all of your support. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And never forget, this nation was built by armed scholars, and this nation will maintain by armed scholars.